So from this point of view, it's possible to say that all your films are chapters of a big autobiography that you are writing.
Oh yeah, no, I would definitely say that. I would agree with that 100%. I mean, if my films have anything to offer, it's because they're personal. To me, they're achingly personal. But I'm not really interested in, another personal filmmaker's Woody Allen, but I'm not really interested in doing semi-autobiographical movies, even though I like people who do that, what I loved about Sofia Coppola's movie Lost in Translation was how autobiographical it was. But I'm not really interested in doing it that up front. It's one of the reasons I love genre cinema, because I can work inside of a genre and I can reveal myself totally, yet also hide at the same time. It's not about you knowing my secrets, but I'm still revealing them to you. But I'm revealing them to you through genre and through these situations. Just as personal, just as aching, has everything to do with me, but you don't know quite what that means. But I do, and people who know me well do. And that's the way I like to work. But if I don't reveal myself in the films, if I'm not telling the truth from where I'm coming from, and like I said, if it's not almost vaguely embarrassing, the things that I've revealed, then what am I doing?
About your writing in the movies, more than writing your movies. If you open, I open a book with your scenario, you play by you, I feel immediately surprised by this incredibly rich language, incredible. And I wonder if this too is something that you didn't study to write. No. It's something that another time it appears to me to be something like a produce of cinema itself. You have this glorious feeling of when you feel you were young, or we were young, boy, hearing these voices bigger than life. Even it was images. The word were images, and that's what is most surprising in your cinema. It's not a cinema of a cinephile who make it, who are aptly, not scholarship. It's really beyond that. What's about this? When you realize this power of words as images, not words to be translated in images.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's it's funny because look, I think the reason that I was lucky enough to find out, to discover my facility with dialogue, and like you said, it kind of goes beyond just having a facility with dialogue. It's like the reason for being. It is it is a true audio-visual experience. And I never studied writing. I never went to a writing class or anything. But what I did do is I did study acting. And most of the adjectives I use when it comes to what I do, I don't use writer's adjectives. I use acting adjectives. When I do write these characters, they are moment by moment. I get lost in the characters the way an actor can get lost in a character. And truthfully, if I'm working well, I'm doing very little. Me, Quentin, is doing very little. I get the characters, I know who the characters are, I am the characters, and I get them talking to each other. And then from that point on, they're doing it. And I'm like a reporter. I'm jotting it down. And they literally have the conversation themselves. And I think I know where they're going, and I think I know where I want them to go, but they go their own way, and they're always right. It's like I use an analogy that, I'm writing a piece, and I want I have this character here, and I want him to go to the bottle. That's the end result of the scene. All right, and I'm writing, But he doesn't go to the bottle, you know. He goes to the camera. And then he hangs out in the camera for a while, and then he goes to my shoulder. And then he goes to my knee. And then maybe then, that's why the scenes are so long, maybe after hanging out on my knee for a while, then he goes to the bottle. And if he never goes to the bottle in the first place, the bottle was a bad idea. The bottle was a bullshit idea on me that I was imposing on the characters. And the characters, no, the bottle is bullshit. We're not going to the bottle. We're doing this instead. I know what's right. You don't. But I'm very, you know, but that's really kind of how it works. I mean, every once in a while things can get carried away, and I can lose my way. I risk losing my way all the time. But there is a truth in that. I mean, just one thing that also highlights some of the other things you were saying. I just remember the first sequence I wrote between the character in this film, the Nazi Frederick Zoller, and Shoshana. And she's putting the letters on the marquee, and he comes up and asks about the Max Linder Festival, and they talk about the White Hell of Pittsburgh, and the blah, 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 and Linder versus Chaplin, and then the scene's over with. I didn't know I was necessarily going to write about that, all right? And when I finished the scene, I was like, I put the pen down and just, Jesus Christ, I go to make my World War II movie and just, I can't help it. It ends up becoming a love letter about cinema. A Nazi and a Jewish refugee are arguing about Linder versus Chaplin.
L'attrezzatura per girare che è in soffitta funziona ancora. So che la macchina da presa funziona, ma il magnetofono?
Funziona benissimo. Ho registrato un nuovo chitarrista che ho conosciuto la settimana scorsa. Perfetto. Perché ci serve l'attrezzatura per girare?
Perché Marcel, mio adorato, noi faremo un film riservato ai nazisti.
Using brought up something else, a segue.
Yes, no, I mean, in relation to what you just said, for example, the conversation about Max Linder, the young Nazi actors say to Shoshana, and that's, anyway, the way the things pass from him to her, even passing by something maybe like the cinema that is maybe not so important, no?
Yeah, but the marquee is beautiful. Yeah, it's that, you know, no, very much so. I mean, and there's also this aspect that, you know, the fact that, you know, she runs a cinema and he's a cinephile. Yeah. Just those facts alone, and I guess because it's me writing it, it suggests that they could fall in love, that they could be with each other. If it were any other time, if it were any other time in that century, they could have been together. But because this is the one time in that century, they can't be together. But that's why I do find it, you know, there's kind of almost there's a tragic love story there, the love story that can never be.